Hey everyone, Eric Grenier of the RIT.ca here. Now the third quarter fundraising figures for 2022 did just come in, and I wanted to go over a few of the results. So first we can start with the Conservatives, who have led in fundraising for the last 3 quarters. They raised $3.9 million, so more than any of the other parties, but it is actually the worst third quarter for the Conservative Party since 2017. The Liberals were in second place with $3.2 million, and the New Democrats in third with $1.2 million. For the NDP, this is the least amount of money that they've raised in a third quarter since 2018. Now, the other parties didn't raise nearly as much money. The Greens raised $348,000. That is the worst third quarter for the Green Party since 2012, a decade ago. The People's Party of Canada was in fourth place with $271,000 raised, and the Bloc Québécois rounded out the list with $109,000. That's actually quite low. That's the worst quarter they've had since 2018. But the thing that we should think about when we look at those numbers is that there was a Quebec election in the third quarter, both in 2022 and in 2018. So it does seem that for the Bloc Québécois, a lot of their fundraising efforts when it comes to provincial election campaign season goes to another party, probably the Parti Québécois. Now that gap between the Conservatives and the Liberals is actually kind of low. It's usually a much wider advantage for the Conservatives. Now there is actually a reason for that. There was a Conservative leadership race happening this year, and a ton of money went to the Conservative leadership candidates. In the third quarter alone, over $8 million went to Conservative leadership contestants. So that means that in the world of Conservative fundraising, a lot of it went to the party, but even more went to Conservative leadership candidates, and the party got to take a cut of that. They got $1.9 million of all that was raised by the Conservative leadership candidates. So that means that the Conservative Party, while direct contributions to the party put them not too much further ahead of the Liberals, when you add in that extra money that went to leadership contestants, the Conservatives are raising a ton more money than the Liberals, as they usually do. Now that we have the third quarter fundraising numbers, we can actually look at how much money was raised by the leadership contestants for the Conservative Party throughout 2022. Pierre Poilievre, no surprise, raised the most money at $9.1 million, followed by Jean Charest at $3.4 million, Leslyn Lewis at $2.2 million, Roman Baber at $900,000, and Scott Aitchison at under $700,000. And Patrick Brown, you remember him, disqualified from the race? He still managed to raise $860,000. We also got to look at the Green Party leadership. Now, that hasn't been getting as much attention, but it does seem to be coming down to 2 joint tickets. Elizabeth May and Jonathan Pedneau, they've raised $59,000, while Anna Keenan and Chad Walcott have raised $35,000. Now, that seems to be an advantage for Elizabeth May and Jonathan Pedneau. They've raised more money, but Anna Keenan and Chad Walcott actually had more individual contributors. Now, we're not talking about big numbers here, but it does suggest that this race could end up being pretty close. And that's the third quarter federal fundraising figures for 2022. I'm Eric Grenier. Please check out the RIT.ca, subscribe and like this YouTube channel, and I'll see you next time.